Hello, and welcome to the fifth episode of the 3D Studio Max tutorials. In this episode, we're going to be looking at making an object into an editable poly, and what exactly you can do with that. So this is where we left off last time. I already made this an editable poly so you can see the faces. Um, but just in case you don't remember or weren't paying attention when I did that, first thing we're going to do is make a box. Whoopsies. We're going to make a box. Let me just change this to 1 and 1 and 1. And let me just make this a uniform box real quick. So, we make that box, and we're going to right click, scroll down to convert to, and hit convert to editable poly. Now what this does is it allows us to have a lot of freedom and different ways of editing this object and turning it into more than just a box. So, over here we're in the Modify tab now, this one here. We have a lot of different options. This will show us all the different modifiers we have applied to the object. Yeah, there it is. So there's a lot of these. We won't be worrying about a lot of them right now. Feel free to go and explore some of these. A lot of them some of them are pretty niche as to what you would use them for, but they can all be very important. Over here we have selection. So this is going to determine what you select here before you can edit it. So for example, if I hit vertex, I can click on each vertice. Hold on, if I go back to select here. Don't know why that's not working. One second. Okay, sorry about that. We got us a new cube, and this one wants to play nice. So if I go ahead and hit vertex, you can see I can select the vertex, and then if I can use all my same manipulation tools to manipulate it. So I can move it up and down. Well, you can't rotate vertices, but the same idea applies. So edges, same thing here. I can click on an edge and then move it up and down. This affects the object in a variety of ways. A lot of the things you're going to be doing are with polygons, which you can kind of think of like as the faces. So again, you can stretch it. You can rotate faces. You can also scale them up and down. Now what you're really going to be, where a lot of the editing comes into play is down here in the edit polygon section. So here you can do a lot of different things to the polygon. For one thing, you can insert a vertex, just anywhere you want. So this will create several smaller faces that you can individually adjust if you want to. I'm going to hit Control Z and get rid of those. You can also, each of these are different objects, or different options you can use to edit this face here. So if I go ahead and hit Extrude, and then select this object, and then click and drag, you can see it extrudes another square out, or another polygon out of the original polygon's face. And you can see that there are, it makes segments separating the initial polygon from the new one. And you can do this, you can continue to do this in any way you want. You can also go down and make a cut within it. If you want to be a bit more precise with it, you can go ahead and hit this little button here, and you can make specific adjustments and measurements, and then you also hit that plus sign to add another one and continue in that same direction. There's also bevel, which is similar to this, except you can use it basically to make an indent and then make an angle and make a nice little bevel there. It's very useful. Adds a lot of makes it look very nice. And you can do the same thing the other way, and similar to extrude, it also has settings. So that's what basically all of these more or less do. They all have their own unique settings. Let me just go ahead and get us back to a nice little cube. Another thing you can do is if you scroll down further here, you can see these options, edit geometry. So what we can do is, one second, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Some things were a little misplaced. So, say we want to add some segments to this. We can go ahead and actually click right here to show this full ribbon menu. Um, just take a little second. And so now we have all these options that we can use for modeling. A lot of these you can find here, but a lot of them is just easier to find here. So the ones we're going to be looking at are loop and ring. So if I go ahead and hit ring, or when I have the object selected, I go ahead and hit uh, one second.
You can also pinch.
Okay, sorry about that. So what we can do here is there are certain options up here, loop and ring, which will let you select edges. So if I hit ring or make sure I have this set to edge, then hit click an edge on the box and hit ring, all these edges that are parallel with it will be selected. Loop, it's a little hard to show loop here, so let me go ahead and add let's say add a bevel to this. That should work. There we go. If I go ahead and hit this and then hit loop, perhaps not. Normally a loop would select, yeah, all the objects that are basically form a loop around the object. But you'll figure it out. It's not too hard. Um, I don't have much time, so I'd like to show you one of the more important features, which is if you go ahead and select two. If you hold shift, you can select multiple. You hold or that selects a ring. If you hit just control, it will select specific edges when you have it set to edge. If you go ahead and hit connect, it'll form a nice little line here, a new edge, which you can manipulate and do a lot of stuff with. But if you hit this little drop down and you go to the settings, you can add multiple. You can change the distance between them. You can slide them all around. And this is really useful because this is a quick way to make a lot of new planes, which can each be edited individually. And it's very useful if you want to add some more detail to your model, because normally a line would just go straight from one point to another. But by using multiple faces and multiple edges, you can make a curved appearance. But of course, it's important to remember that this does take up a lot more computing power if you want to make really complex images and then render them or texture them. It can be a little bit difficult. So it's important. I mean, again, these are good tools to know how to know that they're there and how to use them. But just remember that oftentimes less can be more, and not to go crazy with it. So that's about all the time we have for today. I will be seeing you guys next time. Not quite sure what we're going to talk about next time. Might be a little bit more advanced stuff, but we'll see. So see ya then.